I'm a person who is now very excited about challenging boundaries, right? Breaking down barriers. When somebody tells me, Chuen Chuen, you're an Asian woman, that's why you can't do this, you can't do that, the first thing that comes to mind is, I'm going to prove you wrong. Oh, well, it's those moments where you realize that you could actually die. The moments where the notion of mortality hits you. So what happened was in 2014, I had a minor medical emergency. I had to go into the operating theater for a procedure, and I was about to sign the letter of indemnity for GA. It's my first time ever doing it, and then the notion that I might develop an allergy to the GA struck me. It's like, wow, I might not die from the surgery itself, but I might die from the GA. So that thought, coupled with how my husband looked when they were pushing me into the OT, was that moment for me when I realized that, oh shit, if I had died in that moment, I have nothing to show in my life. So then I realized, okay, I better do something. I better live out to my fullest potential and just explore what is possible. One question, I'm always a coach first, so the one that I always like to ask myself and ask the clients is, what else is possible? A lot of people come to me and when they are stuck, they feel like there's no way out, that they are stuck in all the constraints, so many concerns, fear of failure, for example. But I always believe there's something that we can do. So what else? What else is possible? Well, first, as a strengths coach, my profile, I think it's perfect. I have strategic, I have ideation. I'm excited by the future, be futuristic. So when someone says, well, I feel that I'm stuck, I feel that there's no way out, I'll be like, it brings out that challenging self in me. Like, seriously, let's challenge the boundaries here. I'm sure there's some way, some place we can optimize and figure a way out, because it's about taking just one step forward. Can I move myself just forward by that little bit, the 1% forward, and my perspective will change completely, and then that will invite a lot of possibilities. In my area of work, is about being very agile and relevant as a leader. And most people are in some form of systems and they would inherit some rules and regulations. So one thing that's very important for leaders is to examine whether how they see the world is still relevant. Instead of deferring to the past and say, oh, that can't be done, that's not how we do things here, truly be objective and remove all the biases, all the filters, and look at the world with that fresh lens and see, is what I'm doing now, leading my people in my workplace, still relevant? And that in essence is what agile leadership is all about. Are you a relevant and effective leader that the future workforce needs? Well, I'm a solopreneur. Before I met Speakers Institute, I've been feeling rather lonely, to be honest. And I was just, pursuing different causes to increase my effectiveness, to be a really relevant and effective facilitator, coach, and trainer. And then I came across Speakers Institute Corporate, and the opportunity to mingle with that community of experts, all of whom are respectful of the diversity. I think that one thing I appreciate the most is I'm allowed to be more of who I am. Right? I've never felt like, oh, I have to be like somebody else. I have to throw away that old self. But it is being able to be more of who I am and be the best possible person. So that's what I really appreciate. Of course, as a solopreneur, it is the gift of receiving constructive feedback. I'm quite a direct person. I always value it if somebody can tell me very constructively and very specifically how I can become better. So being in this safe space where I know I will be taken care of, and whatever feedback people give is for my best, for my growth, with the best intentions. This supportive environment is what really drew me to this community. Well, I have a fair share of good and not so good leaders. There are a few that still stuck in my mind. If I think back about those who really left an imprint, those are the ones, they are smart, but they never make you feel stupid. I think that's one. The other common one I see is they're always with the team. They always have the team's back. Like, we are allowed to try things and we are allowed to fail. Of course, when we fail, we take responsibility. But what helps is that the leader stands with us instead of against us. And the last aspect is also what I found in Speakers Institute Corporate. We are allowed to be more of who we are, right? We know that the leader is capable and very successful. But what really helps is, don't be like me. I'm not expecting you to be like me. I'm expecting you to be the best version of yourself. And being empowered in the environment under the leadership of such a person was what made me grow the most. I could think of maybe 2 of my past leaders who were like that, and they made me into the person who I am today. Yeah, I picked only 2 songs. I picked only 2. I really worked hard at this question and to find the third song, but I couldn't. Share with you 2 songs. The first song is, this movie, The Greatest Showman? Yeah? So the song, This Is Me by Keala Sito. Yeah? By Keala Sito. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Well, I used to cry when I listened to this song. The whole theme of the song is about, it's a show of freaks, right? Show of people, full of people who are different from others. And for a long time in my life, I felt that I was different. Like, why am I shorter than everybody else? Why am I, out of my family of 3 sisters, why am I the one who looks so different from my other 2 sisters? Why am I the oddball? So this song really appealed to me. It was a song shared by a mentor when I was having almost like this performance anxiety, like near meltdown when I was about to deliver a big program. Early days when I was building this career. So yeah, I think I always remind myself, this is me, this is who I am, and I deserve a place in this universe to share what I know with the rest of the world. So that's the first song. Second song is a 30-year-old song. It's a Cantonese song. The title is called Sky. If you literally translate it, it's in Cantonese, but I don't speak Cantonese. But one sentence that stood out to me was, anyone can give up their dream. Now, anyone can give up their dream, but I'm not the person who will give up the dream. I'm going to be the exceptional one who doesn't give up the dream. This book, it's a very thin book, very readable book. I recommend everyone to read it if you have not. It's again a very old book. Who Moved My Cheese? Who Moved My Cheese? And there was also a time in my life where I was chasing after the cheese, chasing after success as defined by people. And when the cheese moved or disappeared, I would blame others. And I realized after reading this book that it is not that the cheese have moved or it's somebody else's fault. It's about how we continuously reinvent ourselves to find new cheese to reconfigure the maze, which I feel then has led me directly into this path of advocating agile leadership. When the cheese move, when the way you can make your business profitable change, let's go find new cheese instead of waiting for the old cheese to appear, because likely it's not going to come back. The word for me is magic. Magic. Fun fact, when I go to a coffee place that sells this coffee called Magic, I will always order it. Not because I love the taste of it, but more because I love the sound of it. It's really about inviting possibilities. How can you turn something that someone thinks is possible into reality just like magic? I'm a person who is now very excited about challenging boundaries, right? Breaking down barriers. When somebody tells me, Chuen Chuen, you're an Asian woman, that's why you can't do this, you can't do that, the first thing that comes to mind is, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to show you what is possible. I'm going to make it true for you like magic.